Hello, welcome back for another weekly vlog. It is Monday and I'm already recording. We're off to a great start to the week. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kristen Langford and I am a pre-K teacher in Florida. And this week's weekly vlog is about community helpers. That's our theme, and our letter of the week is letter M. I think that's the gist of it. So it is Monday, like I just said, and we already did our morning work, which is our letter M hat. So I'll show you those. I don't think I've been able to show you guys the hats yet. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you the Play-Doh and the sensory and the art. That way we don't clean it up like we did last week and not get to show you. So let me show you. All right, so here's some of the kids' hats that they have out on the table. We put them out for morning work and then they just color the letter, color their pictures that start with M. We have money, mermaid, and milk. And then some of the kids have different activities. This kid obviously did this before we could get over here, but they're supposed to color the uppercase letters a different color than the lowercase letters. Some of the other students have this version where they are tracing the letter. Can't really see it because it's pencil, but she did trace her letters and then colored the front. The unfortunate part is that these are not fitting, and this is a product that I can link down below, but I'm thinking about trying to edit it somehow and make them longer, but it prints out full page, so I don't really know. Right now we're just adding extenders. Maybe I can just add a page of extender pieces that you guys can cut out to be able to extend them, because either these kids have larger heads than before or they're just too small. But there's a bunch of the kids that they went outside, so they left their hats on their table. All right, let's walk over here. Here's a kid that's still working on their hat. We got some lamination going on. We have our table toy buckets and we wanted to add 3 pictures. So one to the front of the bucket, one to the back of the bucket, and then one where it goes so that they can actually clean it up the right way. Pictures make a big difference. Okay, we did this activity last year and the kids loved it, and it's perfect because we're starting shape week. So they're building with shapes. They have circles for their wheels. They have a square for the front of a truck. This is like the window, a rectangle, and then a big red rectangle for the actual truck. And then they're gonna take this tissue paper and crumble it to make trash. So here is the finished product. I feel like the kids are really gonna like this one. Last week we only had like 6 kids come over here, but this might intrigue the boys a little bit. All right, and then we are working on our cookbooks. We still have lots of papers to staple in, but we're getting closer. Here is our community helpers bucket. So we have these cute cars. We have like 2 buckets of these, so we're hoping that Play-Doh doesn't get too stuck in there, but if it does, it's not really that big of a deal because we have so many of them. So they connect together to make little cars. They can make tracks, put some colors here, obviously our rollers. Then we do have a couple cutouts of an airplane. It's kind of like a transportation, but also community helper, because community helpers have these important vehicles that they need to use. And then we have these stop signs and these cones for like construction workers. And then these are a freebie. I will link it down below that I got. They're actually supposed to be cut in half and then you like match the pieces to who the community helper is, like the top part and the bottom part. You see that line right there? But instead of doing that, we just cut them out to be little people and they can add it into their Play-Doh. But super cute clip art. And the last one is our sensory bin. Slide that there. We put green rice. This is the first time doing rice, so pray for us because we're gonna need it. Oh boy, who knows? But they have these little vehicles again in here that they can put the rice inside of. We tried to not give them too many bucket type things because then maybe that's why it'll make a big mess. But they do have the tweezers, so they're gonna find the little picture, and it's a thermometer, and they have to look and see, does a chef use a thermometer, a construction worker, a doctor, or a firefighter, and then they can match the picture to it. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm like super proud of myself on a Monday that I already took care of all that and I'm already recording. I feel like a whole new teacher. This morning was a little crazy though because we haven't been able to print at school, but now we can. So I've been like printing over the weekend. Like my week's been so crazy that I've been like lesson planning over the weekend instead of during the week, which I like to do because I'm not trying to do things on the weekend. Anyway, so I'm lesson planning and then I have to print things out over the weekend, and then Monday morning I'm like running to the copy machine to like get certain things ready. So like those hats, for instance, like the kids came in and we were like, oh, puzzles. And I was like, no, Monday, they're supposed to do their hats. So I had to go copy them and It's crazy. So our technology is having a lot of problems, and it's kind of the downfall of having all this fancy technology because it throws you for a loop. We have a laptop cart and all the laptops are plugged in over the weekend, but we got out like probably 8 different laptops and they all said low battery. So during the computer center today, I was like, here's some puzzles, the computers aren't working, and still gotta figure that out. Okay, so then our other problem is our smart board. It was on like volume 100, but had barely any volume at all. It's like, you can't even hear it. And then I was trying to change the speakers on the computer to see if I could fix it, and then all of a sudden the music started playing on the computer, but it doesn't have speakers, so it's like super loud over here, but they can't hear it on the rest. So it's been a technology disaster morning, but we're lucky enough that we have a tech guy like on campus. So I just got on our little Teams thing and like put something in there. Hey, it's pre-K again. We're having a disaster. Because I'm pretty sure I've messaged him like probably 10 times already this year. And I'm actually really good at technology. So I'm like, what is happening? Anyways, I did notice that it's not displaying right now. So I think maybe he fixed it, because wherever he is, he can like get into our computers and fix them. So fingers crossed that gets fixed. But I'm gonna go ahead and set up our printer. We can print to the copy machine now. So I have to get online and figure that out. And then, yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I'll see you guys later this week. Hello, welcome back. It is Thursday. I know I started recording on Monday, had big intentions, and then Tuesday was just, I don't even remember. I feel like I come up with these ideas and I'm like, why didn't I record? I don't know. I do know that Miss Sam is sick, so sometimes breaks are a little bit harder to get to because she's not here. She's not feeling well. Hopefully she feels better soon. Right now it is my lunch break. I have like 10 minutes. I'm going to go through my centers for this week, community helpers. And then I also want to find some time to do my Tuesday talks. I hope you guys liked that video. If you haven't seen it yet, it was all about my center time. So I'll link that up here and maybe down here, and you guys can view that after this. But community helpers, I'm gonna go through what I did in my math centers this week and what I did in my literacy centers. Okay, so for my small group math group, we did a cutting activity. Some of the students were more working on cutting as the skill versus the shapes, and then some were like already done cutting, they know how to cut, and so we worked on the names of the shapes and matching them. So on this side it had the shapes for them to cut out, and then they had to match it. This group, obviously with the yellow, they're working on the cutting more, so we didn't get to this drawing part. But with my higher group, we were able to draw the shape as well, which was super fun, trying to draw a hexagon and all that. It is shape week and math this week, so we are learning the circle and the square. All right, and then for Miss Sam's shape group, we have these like vehicles basically of community helpers, so like a trash truck and firefighter, and the little circles. Last year when I used this I did numbers, but since we're on shapes right now, we just covered them with shapes, and they had little pom-poms and said, you know, cover all the circles, cover all the triangles. Some of our groups, they would just cover one at a time and then clear the board. Some of our groups, we had them cover the circles, now cover the triangles, now cover the squares, until it filled the board. And then some of our groups, they were able to tell their friends, cover all the circles, and then everybody had to cover the circles. So simple, easy. That's what we do for Miss Sam and Miss Whitney. Keep it simple. For Miss Whitney's math group, she worked on shapes as well. We've only whole group gone over circles and squares, so focus of that, but the kids that could handle it, she taught them how to draw the lines on the shapes to count how many sides and then color it in. This was my more advanced group, so obviously theirs looks like they're in first grade, but not all the kids were this successful. You know, we started slow, we built in, you know, you're just exposing them to those shapes and sitting in a seat and coloring. And then computer center. So now for literacy groups, and my group, I am really gonna start doing some like guided reading type activities with a lot of mine, because they know a lot of letters and sounds, so kind of working on blending words and just concepts of print and things like that. But we don't have our curriculum for little readers yet, so I found this freebie. It's from taughtschooling.net, and it says when I grow up, and then we just talked about all the different community helpers. So the first day, Monday, Tuesday, like the first time they came to my table, we read the book, we counted the words, we looked at the picture to come up with what the people are, and then Wednesday, Thursday, they got to color it, and I read it individually with them and did a couple assessments, things like that. So it was like one activity for the whole week because this takes a long time and you can't get it done in like 10 minutes. For Miss Sam's group, same activities for the week. It's just a new letter. So she worked on her M is for mouse activity, and then she worked on her letter M worksheet. We kind of keep them in sleeves like this is the letter cutout that I made just on Microsoft Word so that we can make copies of it for the craft. And then behind it, and these are all in a binder, is the little worksheet. So they did that today. One of the kids says, I've already done this. And the other friend said, huh? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I already did this. I was like, with letter A? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's a new letter now. What letter is this? Then for Miss Whitney's group, we did kinetic sand, trying to like poke holes to build the letter M the first day of that fine motor activity, building little like tunnels to make the letter M with the kinetic sand. And then we also printed out these papers for write your name. This is from keepingmykiddo.busy.com. And you just like fill in the name and then it prints it for a worksheet. So it's kind of like if you have time left over, she grabs the whiteboard or the expo marker and they practice writing their name. Then for Wednesday, Thursday, for her second rotation, we did our fine motor books, and I'm gonna show you an example. So we worked on the lowercase m with humps, and then to get those humps traced, her paper fell out, so we'll have to staple it in. We worked on making humps to make a rainbow and going over those colors and stuff. And during play centers, I opened up my smartboard for them to like draw on, and 3 of the students were drawing rainbows because now they learned how to make a rainbow. That's the biggest thing in this group. Like, they don't know how to draw things yet. So you're like, oh, draw what you love. And they're like, I don't know how. So we're gonna use our fine motor books to be able to draw things as well as writing letters. Okay, that's it. I have to go pick up the kids from lunch. Hopefully I'll get back on here. I'm also wearing my fun run shirt. We have the fun run coming up next Friday already, fundraiser for our school. So I'll see you soon. Happy Friday. It is breakfast time and Miss Sam is still sick. So Miss Whitney is at breakfast with the kids. Usually that's like a good contained moment. So I got away for a minute, made some copies. I'm gonna do a quick review of the end of our week. Hopefully finish it. If not, I'll finish this during lunch. And then I also want to go over my schedule for my next Tuesday vlog that just talks to you about things that you guys are interested in. All right, so I know that a lot of people have been asking about my slides. I'm gonna show you them again because a lot of my reading activities, pretty much everything actually, is on there. And we're doing a lot of MyOn books, which is through our county. So I am trying to figure out a way to like put them up on Teachers Pay Teachers to where they're not as specific for what I do, but could still be usable for you guys. So I'll continue to work on that, and I promise I'll share with you guys when it's posted. Okay, so I use slides for my entire week. So there's like 100 and something slides, but a lot of them are the same. I just like copy them and use them for morning meeting and all that. But for social emotional, we started with our puppets on Monday, and then scroll through. Get back down here. The topic was identifying anger, so I put this cute little guy here. And then this song is from Second Steps, but somebody posted, it has like, it's a really cute video, and it goes through how they learn how to handle their emotions by saying stop, naming their feeling, I feel mad, and then taking a deep breath. So it's really cute. So we played that every single day, and then we did our Second Steps card that I have over by my whiteboard, and we did like the little story, and then there's games too. So if we keep going, swipe, 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 there's so much stuff on here, it's crazy. Here it is. So then on Wednesday, you can see that the slide is exactly the same because this is the only part I use, but then we did a game on Wednesday that goes with anger. Actually, it went with all the emotions, and it was basically just having picture cards of the emotions, and they played like matching. So like we laid them all out on the rug, and then they flipped them over to find the match of the emotions and name the emotions we've learned so far. Then on Thursday, we had the fun run pep rally, so we didn't really do a social emotional part, but the slide still looks the same. And then today, when we get to social emotional, we are going to be using a different book. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. Okay, so I'm kind of down on the ground because I have to get it under here, but for Second Steps, how I do it is the card, I have it. This is what the card was for anger, you know, so day 1, we do the puppets. Day 2, we do the card, and it has like a story on the back and questions. Day 3 and day 4, it has like skill practice activities back here. So we did that matching one, like I said. And then the other one is talk about a time you were angry. So we didn't really get to that one yet, but next week when we learn other emotions, we'll have stories about when we're angry too. Then on Friday, when it's a 5-day week, I look for a read aloud that has to do with the emotion or whatever the skill is that we're learning. So it is anger, and there's plenty of anger books that we're gonna read throughout the year. But I also have had a lot of kids that have been getting sick, my daughter included. She's home right now with a stomach bug, and luckily grandma came to the rescue and was able to take care of her so I could come to work because my Sam's sick. You know, there's a lot of sickness going on. So I wanted to share with you something that I was given for free, just so you guys know. And I've been reached out to a lot about companies that want to work with me, and I don't really choose them unless it's something I'm gonna use and something that I think you guys would use. So I know there's lots of opportunities out there, but I haven't really gotten offered much that I feel like I would actually need for my classroom yet until this company. Okay, so this company is All My Emotions, and you can find it at allmyemotions.com. I'll link it down below for you. And they have lots of different books. The one that I was given is the Fussy Fever. That's why we're gonna talk about it, because everybody's sick. And then, this is the best part. They come with these cute little stuffies that go with the book. See, my Fussy Fever, and then this cute little guy. So there's a ton of them. Anger, all the emotions. And then it also comes with a little booklet of coloring your feelings. So like this would be more like if you wanted to buy it for maybe your kid at home, it's like a coloring book for them. But for in a classroom, I could review it and make a book for each kid. So if we had all of them, which I'm thinking about buying more of them. This one is sad, talking about that. And then look at that one, the angry guy. We got excited and worried. So there's all the different emotions. So we're gonna read that today, and I already read through it a little bit, and it's great because it talks about, like, she's like, I feel fine. You know, her snotty nose is in all the pictures and stuff. And she's like, I'm good, I'm good. And she talks about how her body is feeling. There's so much to do, sniff, sniff. And then finally she's like, oh, I don't feel so good. The fever is giving me a headache. And like her head's going thump, thump, thump. I just feel like it's really good visuals, as well as like going through probably exactly how the kids feel when they have a fever. So, you know, she finally decides to take a nap, eat some soup, and then when she rested, she feels better, and then she can go on with her day. So we're gonna read that today for our social emotional time. And it also comes with like a bookmark and some cute little stickers. Okay, that's social emotional. Now I'm going to show you what we did for literacy. Okay, I actually changed my mind. I'm gonna go over math first and literacy at the same time. So Monday math, we're learning what a circle is and what a square is. So on Monday, I just put this little slide here and we did a shape up song. And then on Tuesday, we did another activity for circle that I'll show you. Then for literacy, we did our letter. What is this week's letter? And we showed these pictures. And we talked about what the beginning sound was. I told you guys last week that I didn't have my curriculum yet, so I screenshotted these from the online curriculum. Then, as usual, we read our alpha tales and talked about things that start with M. Then we did our centers. Tuesday, we read a book from Mayan. This is what it looks like, circles everywhere. And then they were able to help me find which ones are circles and which ones are not circles. And then for literacy, we did another book from Mayan all about community helpers and answered some of these questions. I love using slides for this because you can actually plan ahead on your questions and not have to use sticky notes and all that, and it just makes the conversation a little bit better. Wednesday, we started learning about a square. Same here, we matched it, talked about what squares have, listened to the song, then did our math centers that are all about shapes that you saw. And then for literacy on Wednesday was cooking day. So muffins, icing, vanilla wafers, monkey muffins. It was super cute. The kids loved it, and we actually got to use our oven. Thursday for math, we did the same thing as before. We found the squares this time, and then we listened to a book called Squares Everywhere. And then for literacy, we just did our See It, Say It, Sign It song. And then, I don't know why oh, there it is. We did another Mayan book, Delivering Your Mail, all about a mail carrier, and learned some new vocabulary words. And then finally today, we're gonna make cute little shape people. They get to choose. It's on the back counter, I'll show you. We're struggling to get it all ready. Cute little shape people. They can choose which one they want to make. And then for literacy, we'll listen to our ABC Mouse song and then do our show and share. Here's everybody's show and share. Everyone's participating. And then here are the shape people that we're going to make, all set up and ready to go. Okay, I'm sure I missed something, but I have to go, and I hopefully during lunch will be able to record that schedule video for you guys. Fingers crossed. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to give it that big thumbs up, click that subscribe button and that notification bell, and add comments down below for ideas of things you want to see for our Talk With Me Tuesday. I definitely am doing the schedule, but I'm gonna need some more ideas. See you guys soon. Bye.